Hey guys, welcome back. I'm sharing another vintage find that I had filmed and not shared on the channel yet. I filmed this in 2021. I honestly haven't even really looked at this footage since then. I I don't know, man. I've been struggling for a while to remain consistent with corresponding with my pen pals. But as you can see, it's not for lack of trying. I created these zines, which I really thought was going to be like the best plan and also the cheapest plan because it's this very lightweight and so it's just perfect flat mail, and you're really just sending one sheet to whoever your recipient is. You don't necessarily have to include goodies. I feel like zines are cute enough on their own, and there's room in the back to include a letter if you want to write a full letter as well. So I don't know, at the time I really thought this is going to be a good idea for how I can successfully participate in this challenge this year. Needless to say, I did not manage to do it. Listen guys, it happens like that sometimes. You have the best intentions, you really want to do something, and it really just, if it doesn't feel good to you, if it's stressing you out, then it's good for you to listen to yourself and just say, you know what, maybe now's not the time. So I made these zines and I filmed it, but um, I don't believe I even mailed out a single one. And that just goes to show you how like important mental health is and how it actually can affect your day-to-day life, because our mailbox is literally in our lobby downstairs. And I just didn't have like the emotional energy to even commit to putting stamps on envelopes and walking downstairs. So I'm saying that not to be dramatic, but to say if you feel like that sometimes, or if you felt like that for a while, like, I'm here with you, friend. You're not the only one. It's been hard. And it doesn't mean we should stop trying. So here I am, it's like 2022, and I'm getting ready to try and prep for InCoWriMo again. But I just thought I had these videos, and I think they're still cute and relatively easy ideas for anyone who would like to try and participate this year. If you're not familiar, InCoWriMo stands for International Correspondence Writing Month, and it is a month-long challenge for the month of February. And all that you need to do is just write a letter for each day of the month. I don't know if that's 28 or 29 days this year. Um, and, and that's it. Mail it out. You can write one letter for each day, or you can just decide that you're going to only write one letter for that month. I honestly think like the challenge is to do one letter for each day, but I think that if you're not a habitual um, letter writer, one letter for that month might be enough of a challenge for you, or you might decide you want to do one letter a week. Really like pace yourself to however feels right to you. I don't think that you should feel pressured to do it exactly the way that the challenge states. I think the whole point is to inspire people to communicate with each other. So those are just like some ideas that I would give you so that it doesn't feel so daunting, like, oh, I can only do this challenge if I'm willing to write 28 or 29 letters. I also think a great idea is to just send a postcard. It's a tiny amount of space that you have to write on, so you don't have to commit to telling an entire story if you don't know what to say to maybe a new pen pal or to someone that you haven't spoken to in a while. Um, and I just think that it's easy. You can kind of, sit down and churn a few out and just have them ready and just drop them in the box. And again, of course, it's cheap. It's just the cost of one stamp. And another thing that you can do is just write letters to yourself. I think that's kind of the easiest version of InCoWriMo that I would encourage you to try, just as practice of beginning to write. Write a letter to yourself every day. And obviously you wouldn't have to mail it. You can just write a letter to yourself and put it in an envelope and just keep it and read them at some point in the future. I don't know. There's so many different ways that we can use writing to connect with ourselves and others. So I would encourage you to think about different ways that you might want to consider trying it. So in any case, I really enjoyed making these different versions of zines. So the first one I did using some images that I printed from Pinterest. I really enjoyed doing that because once I found images that I liked, I just like kind of sat down in front of the TV and like fussy cut the images, or if you have a Cricut or whatever, you can just, I guess, have your Cricut cut it out. I do have a Cricut, I just haven't had the mental bandwidth to figure out how to properly use it. But my point about fussy cutting is that it's actually, you know, really relaxing. It's kind of like a mindless task that you could perform mindfully. Did I just make something up? Anyway, yeah, I find cutting paper really soothing and relaxing. So if you would like to do that, you can. I enjoyed, you know, doing these different versions, and then so this one is like you don't need anything. You don't have to, you know, because I guess if you use the Pinterest, you'd have to have access to a printer, um, and that might not be the case for everyone. So I thought I wanted to share one where you really didn't need much of anything. In my case, I'm just using a ballpoint pen and some markers, and I thought it would be cute to do like almost like a wreath tutorial. I always call them like a scribble wreath, where you just like scribble a circle and then you just start adding like petals and flowers and tiny little details. So here's like the scribble. This is a really sloppy scribble. Um, I didn't need to be so extra with the amount of scribbling. But if you noticed from the beginning, each page teaches you how to do one of the components. So the cover started with me making these hearts, and then the next page I showed how to do the leaves, and then the next page was the little dot roses, and then the last page is how all of those little components come together to create the wreath. So I just thought that was like a cute little zine. I mean, no drawing experience is needed for what I just did here. I mean, the point of this is just like relax and let loose and kind of just get creative. Okay, next I guess I'm here hand lettering. What am I hand lettering? Are you as eager for spring as I am? Oh boy, this is going to be cringy. I'm watching this for the first time. I can't wait to see those buds bloom. Why does that make me uncomfortable? Okay, we're almost there. Fun fact about me is that as soon as winter starts, I begin telling myself we're almost there, and there being spring or the end of winter. So I literally start lying to myself at the very beginning, and it really helps me. So, you know, whatever. All right, this next version, I just wanted to show what it would look like if you just chose a piece of paper that had a pattern on it. This pattern I also printed for free from Pinterest. And then these little Valentine images, I found them on Pinterest as well. So I just cut them out. And yeah, I just wanted to show that like the steps can become even less and less. I don't think I liked what it said there. I don't remember what it said, so I just put some whiteout on it. And that brings us to the last one. For this one, I decided to dig into my hoard of Project Life cards. I love them so much that I can't even use them. And I think this year I need to just set a goal of trying to deplete them and gift them to my pen pals or use them in projects, whatever. So yeah, so all I did was trim them down. I think they're typically 3x4, and I trimmed them down to a little bit over 2 inches by 4. You measure your panels and you come up with whatever measurement you want. I wanted there to be a little bit of a border, so that's what I chose. And that's literally it. It's easy peasy. Just choose the cards that you like, trim them, stick them down, and you're done. Speaking of done, I am out of time and I'm also out of things to say on this topic. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.